The Illusion of Progress: Why Visibility Doesn't Equal Equity for Black Women Entrepreneurs. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at this TED event. I'm truly honored to be here sharing insights from my recent interview with Erika Reeves, a revolutionary force in the entrepreneurial landscape who has been fundamentally reshaping how we understand the journey of Black women in business. Erica isn't just another successful entrepreneur. She's a visionary who has dedicated her life to dismantling the invisible barriers that keep talented women from reaching their full potential. Her work transcends inspiration, it creates transformation. While others are content with symbolic victories, Erica has been in the trenches, building systems and structures that create lasting change. Her commitment to truth telling, even when that truth is uncomfortable, makes her voice not just valuable, but essential in our conversations about equity and opportunity. When I sat down with Erica, I expected to hear a story of triumph, and there certainly was triumph. But what struck me most was her unflinching honesty about a reality that challenges our comfortable narratives about progress. It's this perspective I want to share with you today because it will fundamentally change how you understand success, opportunity, and what true equity actually requires. We live in an age of visibility. Our social media feeds showcase Black women entrepreneurs launching businesses, securing funding, and breaking barriers. These images are powerful, necessary, and true, but they're incomplete. And this incompleteness shapes a dangerous illusion that distorts our understanding of reality. The illusion is that visibility equals equity, that representation equals opportunity, that seeing Black women succeed means the playing field has been leveled. This illusion is comforting. It allows us to believe that progress is steady and inevitable. It lets us celebrate symbolic victories without confronting the stubborn realities that persist beneath the surface. It permits us to mistake a few exceptional stories for systemic change. Erica challenged this narrative with data that should shake us to our core. Despite the growing visibility of Black women entrepreneurs and professionals, systemic barriers remain deeply entrenched and are evolving in subtle ways. While women's startup activity rates have risen globally, only 24% of Black women have formalized businesses compared to 41% of white women. This gap isn't just about access to capital, it reflects a broader lack of support networks, mentorship opportunities, and institutional backing. So, even as headlines celebrate progress, the playing field is still far from level. This is the first insight I want to share from my conversation with Erica. Visibility does not equal equity. Let me explain what this means in practical terms. A 2025 report highlighted that only 24% of Black women entrepreneurs have formalized businesses versus 41% among white counterparts in major urban centers. When we dig deeper into this disparity, we find challenges that go beyond simple financial barriers. Black women entrepreneurs face disparities in access to credit lines, business registration support, and mentorship programs. Many of these entrepreneurs began as informal side hustles, not because of lack of vision or ambition, but due to lack of trust or awareness regarding traditional financial systems. This isn't surprising when you consider the historical relationship between financial institutions and Black communities, a history marked by redlining, predatory lending, and systematic exclusion. But there's hope in this story too. Targeted community initiatives focused on legal literacy workshops and microfinance tailored for minority founders have shown remarkable results. Participating regions saw an increase in formalization rates among Black owned businesses within just 2 years. I want to tell you about Janelle, a brilliant entrepreneur who created a revolutionary skincare line specifically formulated for women of color. For 3 years, she operated out of her kitchen, selling at local markets and through Instagram. Her products were exceptional. Customers raved about them. But without formal business registration, she couldn't secure retail contracts, scale manufacturing, or protect her formulations. Through one of these targeted initiatives, Janelle received guidance on business registration, trademark protection, and accessing credit. Within 8 months, she had secured shelf space in three regional chains and hired four employees. Her story illustrates what's possible when we address the actual barriers rather than simply celebrating visibility. The second insight Erika shared is equally powerful. Support networks matter more than we think. Building strong professional communities and alliances is essential for overcoming the unique challenges faced by Black professionals. And these relationships can be more impactful than funding alone. This might sound counterintuitive. We often think capital is the primary barrier to success. But Erica emphasized that while money matters, networks open doors that remain closed even to well funded entrepreneurs who lack connections. According to Fundera by NerdWallet data cited by Success Magazine in 2025, female led startups often outperform male led ones on ROI metrics across tech and wellness sectors. This performance advantage existed between 2019 and 2024. Yet these same high performing ventures faced underrepresentation in venture capital funding rounds and skepticism from potential investors. Skepticism rooted in bias rather than performance indicators. How did these entrepreneurs overcome these barriers? By creating alternative pathways. They launched pitch competitions exclusively for underrepresented founders and leveraged digital platforms for direct to consumer sales, effectively bypassing traditional gatekeepers. Consider the story of Maya and her tech platform designed to connect healthcare providers with underserved communities. Despite a proven model and impressive early metrics, she faced 47 rejections from traditional venture capitalists. Rather than giving up, she turned to a network of Black women investors who not only funded her startup, but connected her with mentors and potential clients. Today, her platform serves over 200,000 patients and has raised a Series B round, including from some of the same VCs who initially rejected her. What changed wasn't just her metrics, it was the validation that came from her network. This is the power of community. It doesn't just provide emotional support, it creates alternative pathways to success. This brings me to the third key insight from my conversation with Erica. Your journey sets a precedent. Every milestone achieved by a Black woman leader helps shift industry norms and opens doors for those who follow. Collective progress depends on each individual's success. This isn't just inspirational rhetoric, it's a practical reality with measurable impact. The BRICS Women Business Alliance provides a compelling example of this principle in action. This alliance has spent 5 years fostering economic cooperation among female leaders across Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with notable inclusion efforts directed toward marginalized groups, including African descended populations. Leading figures like Monica Monteiro championed inclusive policy shifts across multinational summits and virtual collaboration hubs. Initially, fragmentation between national policies hampered cross border business development. The solution came through standardizing resource sharing frameworks and creating peer mentorship cohorts spanning continents. The outcomes were remarkable: increased trade deals signed between member nations featuring joint ventures led by diverse teams. The alliance launched the first multinational fund supporting early stage projects led exclusively by minority women founders. One participant, Amara, created a sustainable fashion brand that sources materials from women's cooperatives across 3 continents. Through the alliance's support, she secured distribution deals in 7 countries and established manufacturing partnerships that maintain ethical labor practices. Her success has created a blueprint that other entrepreneurs are now following, multiplying the impact far beyond her individual business. Now, you might be wondering, if the data shows that women led and diverse businesses often outperform others, why do these barriers persist? Why haven't market forces naturally corrected this inefficiency? This is where we need to confront uncomfortable truths about how our systems actually work. Markets aren't perfectly rational. They operate through human decisions influenced by biases, traditions, and relationships. When those making investment decisions don't have diverse perspectives, they miss opportunities that don't fit their familiar patterns. This is why representation in decision making positions matter so much. It's not just about fairness, it's about effectiveness. Diverse leadership makes better decisions because it brings more perspectives to the table. But here's where Erica's perspective becomes truly transformative. She doesn't just advocate for individual success, she emphasizes that true progress requires systemic change. And systemic change requires both individual achievement and collective action. For too long, Black women have been expected to be superheroes, to work twice as hard, to never show weakness, to carry communities on their shoulders while smiling through it all. This expectation isn't just exhausting, it's unsustainable. The radical act of embracing softness, of prioritizing well being, of setting boundaries, of asking for help isn't weakness. It's strategic wisdom. It's recognizing that sustainable success requires sustainable practices. It's understanding that we can achieve more when we don't try to achieve everything alone. When Black women entrepreneurs build support networks, when they mentor others, when they share resources and knowledge, they aren't just being nice, they're being revolutionary. They're creating alternative systems that work better than the ones that excluded them. So, where do we go from here? How do we translate these insights into action? If you're a Black woman entrepreneur, Erica's message is clear: formalize your business, build your network intentionally, and remember that your success creates pathways for others. Embrace the power of collaboration and don't try to carry everything alone. If you're an investor, look beyond your familiar networks. Examine your portfolio for diversity, not as a charity initiative, but as a strategic advantage. The data shows diverse teams outperform homogeneous ones. You're leaving money on the table by sticking with what's comfortable. If you're a policymaker, create programs that address the specific barriers facing Black women entrepreneurs, from access to capital, to mentorship opportunities, to childcare support. And if you're none of these things but care about creating a more equitable and prosperous society, Use whatever influence you have to support Black women owned businesses. Your purchasing decisions, your recommendations, your social media shares, all of these matter. I want to leave you with this challenge. What would our economy look like if we removed the artificial barriers that hold back Black women entrepreneurs? How much innovation, how much wealth, how much opportunity are we sacrificing by maintaining systems that exclude exceptional talent? This isn't just about justice, though justice matters profoundly. It's about unlocking human potential. It's about creating prosperity that includes everyone. It's about building businesses and economies that work better because they work for more people. The journey from visibility to equity is long and demanding. It requires more than celebration, it requires transformation. It demands that we not just acknowledge success stories, but actively dismantle the barriers that make those stories exceptional rather than expected. I challenge you today, don't just admire the progress, be part of creating it. Use your influence, your resources, your voice to build bridges where others have built walls. Because a world where talent and determination, not privilege and connection, determine success isn't just more fair, it's more prosperous, more innovative, and more fully human. Thank you.